Welcome to the Spit Bucket Hotel Party.
Thanks for joining us.
It's covered my boners a couple times while I was here.
Is that right?
Why are you getting those in here? No, I can't touch Appa.
I don't know. Sometimes you guys say stuff that like I'm not ready to hear, but
we say sunlight. And with that, welcome to another episode of The Spit Bucket. My name's Omar, and this is, I guess, technically our Thanksgiving episode, since when you're hearing this, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. We're doing something a little bit different this year, because last year, for our Thanksgiving episode, we had about 1 million boys.
That was a whole lot of meat in this room, boy.
It was nice and sweaty and dark, and we had our very first white person ever on the show.
That's true.
And he's been the only one ever since.
yeah, and we had to cut out his whole 9/11 speech.
We did. Actually, there's a little bit in there.
Okay.
But I think it went on longer than what you kept in.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys go back and listen to our Thanksgiving episode from last year. For this episode, we decided to treat you guys to a nice, relaxed episode of The Spit Bucket. My name's Omar, and joining me at the table, our own little stuffed turkey. It's Champkin, tell everyone.
Oh, I'm like, wait, what does that mean? Anyways, I want Aizawa to shit in my mouth, dude.
Aizawa?
Aizawa.
Damn. There's
Of
like
all people?
There's no greater human being than Aizawa.
Dude, the
It's-
way he looked at Midoriya, I'm like, damn, I wish he would look at me like that.
Man.
All right, and also on the podcast, we have an Allen-flavored boy.
Hello.
It is Alan.
I'm getting really dizzy. But I was telling Omar and Jam that I'm still drunk from the night before. So
What you be drinking?
I was drinking White Claw, unfortunately.
White Claw?
Yeah.
So
Since when did you become
did it take a couple of those to actually hit you?
It took about 7.
Oh
So
my God.
for this episode, we have our second white person ever on the show. It's Alan Mendoza.
Man.
White by association.
It was either White Claw or the Nectar of the Gods, Bush. So I know, so I was not doing that.
Dude, I'm traumatized by Bush, and there's a beer called Milwaukee's Best.
Oh, man.
When my dad got deported, my aunt, there's like a little crevice behind the garage where my dad used to live, and there was literally 6 bags full of Bush and Milwaukee's Best cans, and she made me go out there, open all of them, rinse them out because they still had beer on them. This was in the summer. And crush all the cans.
Wait, and you said they were your dad's?
They were my dad's.
From like 6 years before he got...
Yes.
So before he went to prison, he drank behind the garage, tossed them out, and then once 6 years later got deported, they're like, hey, Jam, clean those up.
Yep.
What? What?
There was literally like 8 bags of cans of Milwaukee's Best and Bush.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fuck my dad. Fuck.
Were they waiting for you to like move in with them, for them to be like, hey, that's your dad's garbage, clean it up?
No, because what they did, that little space, they had it fenced off, because they just had like a tire back there, some like old playground equipment, so they were cleaning it out, and they found all those bags, and they're like, this is on you.
Your dad was pulling like a Hank Hill like alley drinking thing.
But by himself, but drinking for 4 people.
But if you see this little crevice, it's literally like 4 feet wide, and maybe like another 20 feet long.
Is there anything sadder than drinking looking at a wall?
I don't know what he was up to, dude. That man was doing earthing, except taking care of
That
me.
much beer, I think you should just make the investment and get yourself like the little can press that you can put on the wall. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. We used to have that.
Earlier this week, I had a job where I stayed in Chicago for 3 days, and I went to an expensive ramen place because it had really good reviews. So I went to a place called... Should I call it out?
Yeah.
All right, so there's a place called Ramen-san in Chicago. I was just by myself, so they put me
staring at the wall.
So I was literally kind of like a bar area, except instead of a bar, it was a brick wall, and also the eating area was only about 3 feet. Not even. It was like maybe 2 feet. So I had 2 feet of where I can eat, and then a brick wall in front of my face.
With a thermostat, don't forget that.
And I was right in front of the thermostat.
You could have destroyed that company. You could have just put it all the way up, finished your food, and then left.
Which is fine. I was alone, and I was like the place was popping. So if I was by myself, it makes sense to put me there, you know. But my grievance is that the food wasn't good. After tip and everything, I paid $30 for this one bowl of ramen, and I've had so many better ones. I don't know why anyone would go there.
Dog, I missed you those 3 days you
Did
were
you?
gone. Hell yeah, dude. I went a little crazy. At first, I'm like, all right, it's me time. I'm about to, pop off. So then I dressed a little slutty just for myself and took some whorish pictures. But then I'm like, damn, I miss him. And I just went to
You
bed
just went to
sad
cry.
every night.
Dude, I was having a good time. I was eating ice cream sandwiches in the hotel by myself. But when you were saying your dad was drinking there and it was only like 4 feet, it reminded me of how sad I was just eating my ramen next to a brick wall as my only friend.
Damn.
You guys are so sweet. It's making me sick.
No, I think that's the beer from you. That's the White Claw.
Oh, man.
Speaking of drinks that you can't get enough of, I have a story for us. If you guys haven't figured it out, I don't know how you guys have made it to episode, what is this, like 57 of the Spit Bucket? But what we normally do on this show is we talk about the news stories that are goofy as fuck. So the story that I have for this week is that thieves use a truck to pull a door off of a store. Guess what they stole?
Wait, where is this?
This might give it away. But this happened in Alabama.
Oh, shit.
I'll say ham sandwiches. I don't know why. But
That's your first instinct?
I'm hungry.
I ate a turkey sammy before we started.
Damn.
What would you steal, Jam? What would you pull a truck back? Take the hinges off the door,
And
give them to the fuck boy
fuckboy's hands?
to steal.
I can't think of a single thing that would command enough power for me to take the door off of a truck.
All right. Well,
I
they
bet
did
they
take the
would.
door off the truck. They used the truck to take the door off the building.
Oh, then I don't know. Money, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. So the thieves pulled a door off of a store, but only to steal a 12-pack of Faygo. Only worth about $3.
Wait, so it was at a dollar store or was it at an Aldi?
Do they sell Faygo at Aldi?
I think Tony told us that that's where he used to buy it from. So I don't know if they do currently because they went like all healthy.
Maybe they had too much of an influx of juggalos. So the trio, if they split the profits, would have been $1 each.
Jesus.
So a trio of sugar-craving thieves used a truck to pull the door off of an Alabama convenience store, but only stole a 12-pack of Faygo.
I didn't even know they sold them in 12 packs. I thought it was just a big old bottle.
Remember, what did we buy when we were doing our Faygo?
We just bought the bottles.
We bought a 6-pack, though. There was one 6-pack because they didn't sell that flavor in the bottles.
Oh, was it just like the cola one?
I think it might have been like the ginger ale Faygo.
Either way, that all tasted like
Have you ever had Faygo, Alan?
Yeah, I used to drink it a lot when I was in
Oh my god.
When you were wearing
year.
your Jenko jeans?
No, not during that time. 'Cause, there was a dollar store right next to the freshman center when I used to go to high school, and I'd always used to just kind of walk there before class and grab like a Faygo and grab a bag of gummy worms. So
That was your breakfast?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
That explains like,
How are you so thin?
oh man. But freshman year was a bad time. So
Damn.
That's when you said you were getting bullied?
yeah,
Did it have anything to do with you eating gummy worms and drinking
here's the
Faygo?
thing though, like it started, it only happened for about 2 years. It happened, I want to say the last year of Webster, so middle school, and then the first year of high school. But it's because all the friends that I grew up with, we got separated because they all kind of took different courses. Some of them went to CSP, some of them, and I just kind of took the regular
You went the normal route.
regular classes with like all the bad kids. So like it was really sad because we still hung out after school, but as far as classes and traveling through classes, I never saw them ever. So that alone kind of put me in a mental state like, damn, I don't really have anybody here.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me prone to get
these
fucked with.
these gummy worms are my only friends.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was fucked with in freshman year. Well, but honestly, like I said, it was the same 2-3 guys
Yeah.
all of my high school career that just would not leave me alone. And then I remember once I started dating you, they were like, "What? Him?" And I'm like, "What?" And then they would just whisper about you and me.
Why?
Like in gym. I'm like, what is?
That's nasty.
I do not understand their obsession with me. Like, I genuinely don't even think they liked me because they all had girlfriends, and I didn't really.
That's never stopped a boy.
And I didn't even know their girlfriends, and from what I could tell, they seemed like normal, nice girls.
Yeah.
But I don't understand.
Maybe they knew you were nasty.
Dude, they don't even know how nasty I be.
Alan, what was the biggest age gap relationship that you've had?
Probably this last one, because I've only been in 3 committed relationships. The first one was we're about 2 months apart. The second one, I'd say a couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then,
what?
And
How
then,
does that happen?
I don't know. It's weird. I mean, we're all in the same age.
Yeah.
We're all the same grade, so I guess I've always just kind of dated in my, how do you say it?
Proximity.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
But this last relationship I was in, I want to say she was like a year and a half older than I was.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
for sure.
But we've had conversations before, like what would, like the oldest or the youngest you date, And as far as age goes, I'm not super, how do you say it? Man, I cannot speak right now.
Sorry, guys. He's drunk.
No, as far as someone younger than me, I wouldn't go too young. Right now, I'd probably say like 19, 20 is the youngest I'd go.
Yeah.
Oldest, I'd probably say like 30.
I'm going to bleep out what you said as the youngest, just so people can infer.
They can take a wild guess.
12 is probably the youngest I'd go.
Huh?
No, that's what you would have him say. Shit.
No, now I'm going to just loop you saying that.
God damn.
I'm going to throw it at the
Because we
end
were
of the
talking
episode.
about this yesterday. Omar said that it's perfectly okay for a 21-year-old to date an 18-year-old.
I said a 20-year-old to date an 18-year-old.
To me, that's weird.
That's a 2-year difference. That's nothing.
That's weird to me, though.
Is it weird, Al?
That's a whole different like number bracket, though. So I mean,
Exactly.
for me, it's not weird, but like saying it out loud, it comes off a little off.
Because
I told Jam, I'm like, that was our age difference.
yeah, and I wasn't comfortable with that. Not even in the slightest. I was still in high school, and then having you pick me up after school was weird for me. That didn't even make me feel cool. I just felt like, oh, I'm,
Nasty.
I'm a child in danger.
You
It's
just keep getting
surprising,
kidnapped every day when I pick you up.
It's really surprising because a lot of my friends that I know and that I grew up with, the age difference is almost it's an issue. You know what I mean? So it's like you guys.
You could say it's problematic.
Yeah, it's you guys. I had a friend in high school that was dating someone that was like, I want to say we were 17, 18. This chick had to have been like a soft 16. I was like, that's a little weird.
A soft 16.
And even Sam, when we were seniors in high school, he was dating, I think, a 15-year-old. And they are now happily married, and they love each other.
What?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it could work out, but to me, it is a little predatory. Especially, okay, let's say you're 25 and dating an 18-year-old. That's weird to me.
But here's the thing: he went and asked her parents' permission.
Oh, you didn't even do that, Omar.
Jam, when I first met your mom...
Go ahead, tell the story.
Did I tell you? People have heard this story before. When I first met Jam's mom, we were at the end of Jam's driveway because I walked her home from school, and then her mom gets out of the car and starts like picking up change. And then Jam starts getting so red.
She found like change on the floor. And
she's like, what? 36 cents.
I'm like, great.
And then your dad was I literally never met your dad. The one time I met your dad and shook his hand, it was when he was getting deported. I didn't have to ask him for nothing, all right? So, according to the police department, the bizarre incident occurred early morning.
Hold on, I'm sorry. It's just sometimes I think about that moment, and I'm like, how fucking bizarro is my life? The first time my dad meets my first and only boyfriend.
It's him getting deported.
It's while I'm handing him a suitcase full of clothes just so he can be shipped out. And then him just like being like overshadowed by this huge buff like
yeah. I don't know why we keep saying deported. He was deployed. He's an army hero. Right, Jam?
Uh-huh. And I was just like, oh, by the way, this is my boyfriend. He's like, ah, cabrón.
I'm taller than him. I could beat your dad up.
Oh my god.
All right, so...
Yeah, luckily all my girlfriends have daddy issues, so I never had to meet a single one of them.
Dude,
Hell
me
yeah.
too.
That's the way you gotta fucking go.
I've literally never met a single girl that I've ever talked to's dad.
Ain't that some shit? Men ain't shit for real.
But according to the police, this bizarre incident occurred early in the morning hours of Thursday when 3 males showed up at the Big Boys convenience store
hell
in Jefferson Boulevard with a white Ford Ranger. The males tied a chain from the Ford Ranger to the front door of the business and then used the truck to pull the door off the hinges and hand the hinges to the fuckboys.
Damn.
That's not in the article. I took a little bit of liberty.
Creative liberty.
I have some artistic license when it comes to reading these stories. Surveillance footage shows that one of the males entered the store and walked out with a 12-pack of Faygo, a soda pop company based in Detroit known for bargain prices and unique flavors. Do they have unique flavors? Every Faygo we've...
Nasty's their unique flavor for every single one.
The investigators told AL.com that there's absolutely no evidence that the thieves were looking for anything else. I mean, when the Faygo hits, the Faygo hits.
For real. That shit gave me diarrhea.
Well, sugar addiction's like a thing, right?
Yep.
I'm sure they needed it. They started scratching. And then
Y'all couldn't get it from anywhere else, though.
No, it happened in the early hours. The store had it coming for not being open.
Damn.
If you sell Faygo, by law, you should be required to be open 24 hours a day just so people can get their fix.
Oh, man.
The video shows that they walked into the store and grabbed the Faygo, said the police captain. All that work for 12-pack of something that cost maybe $3. Police included several hashtags with a Facebook post, including hashtag Faygo Bandits, Must Be Thirsty, Too Much Work, What Flavors You Got, Red Pop, Grape, Orange, Twist, Cherry Cola, and Dr. Faygo.
That was all their hashtags?
That was all their
I'm
hashtags.
gonna kill myself.
Which makes it so much easier for me when I'm posting this episode, because now I got a bunch.
Damn.
Anyone with information can contact their number. I'm not going to give their number because I want these guys to get away with it.
Oh, so they weren't caught?
No, they were not caught.
Oh, wow.
Here's some pictures of the Ford Ranger backed up. You know how Target, in front of them, they have the big red balls?
Yeah.
So that cars, don't drive into them. But other stores just have, posts,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. So they backed it up in such a perfect way where the angle, where the camera is, the license plate is blocked by one of the poles so you don't get into... So it's, perfectly aligned.
It was fate, pretty much.
Yeah.
I love that.
They deserved it. Here's a picture of them actually tying it. They have t-shirts tied to their heads just so they their identity doesn't show because they really wanted to get away with it.
That's a lot of work.
And
that's one of the hashtags.
At least take a couple of them, not just one.
Yeah, you got two hands, and second of all, that model Ford Ranger, because I used to work at an emission place, so I would test cars all the time. That car, that specific truck, it's a lightweight truck. My car weighs more than that truck.
Really?
How the hell did it pull that door off?
Wow.
That's crazy. That's shocking to me.
I would have imagined that because it looked like they tied it around the door of the the hatch of the pickup or whatever.
Man,
I would have wanted it to just pull that back end off. I think that's an eye for an eye, right? When it comes to... We should do another Faygo taste test. Have you seen the video, Alan?
I saw it.
So there's been a few comments on it of people wanting us to do another one, and they kept telling us their favorite lyrics and their favorite sody pops and where to buy more.
Really?
So we can
different flavors?
I didn't think anybody watched those, dude.
Yeah, they've been watching them. It's got millions of views.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But we can just go on Faygo.com apparently and buy as many different flavors as we want. So if you guys want it, let us know. We can do another Faygo.
If I start getting ads
test.
for Faygo, I'm gonna be pissed.
Faygo. Alexa, buy a 12-pack of Faygo.
And then that bitch added them to my cart. That's why I got rid of Alexa. Now it's upstairs.
All right, here. Let me do it for our other users. Hey Google, order a 12-pack of Faygo.
Damn.
You guys are welcome.
All right. More than 150 pounds of black market bologna seized in Texas, border agents say.
Black market bologna.
Oh, man.
What's up?
I know. I remember because she retweeted that, and I read the article, and the reason why it's black market bologna. I get it, but it's just, come on, man.
I want it to be made out of rhinoceros.
This is what our tax dollars are paying for.
Literally.
A bunch of bologna took on a different meaning after U.S. Customs and Border Protection agricultural specialists confiscated 14 rolls of Mexican bologna on Thursday morning. The department announced in its news release.
Mexican bologna with some pan bimbo?
How do you say bologna in Spanish?
Bologna?
Bologna. I'm going to guess that's correct.
I'm never going to have
It is. The bologna was seized because it is a prohibited product made from pork and has the potential for introducing foreign animal diseases to the U.S. pork industry.
How? We're not going to feed it to pigs.
I'm fucking saying. Officials noticed a man driving a Chevrolet truck with Texas license plates enter from the port of Mexico just after 9 a.m.
And he had a 12-pack of Faygo.
An officer spotted rolls behind the back seat of the truck and asked, what is he bringing from Mexico? And he responded, frozen rolls of turkey ham.
I've mentioned this, I think it was the last episode, where I watched my airplane, or not my airplane shows, but my airport shows. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that would be a fun job, confiscating stuff that shouldn't be in the country.
It always breaks my heart though because they show in depth how do they dispose of fruit that they bring in, and there's literally just a drain where they have to chop it up, make sure it has no bugs or nothing.
You get to play Fruit Ninja, and then
they have this big drain, essentially
It's like a garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay.
But they're just shoving in all these beautiful mangoes and oranges and grapes.
They'd be so drinking that smoothie
but
at the end.
It's heartbreaking.
It's just a food processor, and they just drink it all.
Right?
How else are you supposed to get rid of it?
Is that where naked juice comes from?
Yeah, yeah. Naked juice is just made in different airports.
Y'all ever had airport jungle juice?
That's what that is.
Let me see.
All the pets that can't come in.
Officials confiscated the 14 rolls weighing more than 154 pounds, destroyed and released the driver, officials say.
You just got away with it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. I think my aunt tried bringing in, like, pork from Mexico, too, once.
For what?
I don't know, dude.
How do you keep that shit cold?
Well, they always put it up in a cooler, and then I don't know what they do with it, but they ended up disposing of that, too. Nothing happens. I think sometimes you get a fine. This man brought 154 pounds of that, and he didn't do nothing.
155 pounds of rolls. That reminds me of me.
Well, here we go. It's important that travelers understand they should declare all items they are transporting from aboard to avoid fines and penalties. A properly declared prohibited item can be abandoned at the port without consequence.
Maybe I'll get myself in trouble for this, but
Go ahead. I already know what you're going to say.
I've never declared plants that I've brought in, and I've brought in plants into this country, and I never said anything.
Plants?
Yeah.
How?
Like seedlings with the dirt, so you can already plant them
Just
here.
like keep it.
No, I have seeds. I just brought seeds.
Didn't the last one you bought come with a little pellet of dirt that you just had to get wet and it expanded?
Yeah. So
you're bringing in dirt from other countries too?
Yes.
I brought ants from Mexico once on accident. They got in my suitcase. Because I had candy in there. That was it.
Wow.
Yep.
So you guys are criminals is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So Mexico's full of criminals.
We lie, we cheat, we steal.
Everyone from Mexico is basically Eddie Guerrero. That was the Eddie Guerrero of bologna that we just met.
Hell yeah, dude. That was it. And then it just went into, like, rules and regulations of shit.
Just like Alan's friend, he brought marijuana.
Well, it stayed in the country.
Cabbage.
Yeah. So, CNN Business News. Wow, hold on.
For everyone on the podcast, we started recording later than normal because Alan lost his glasses.
Oh yeah, so okay.
So that's why he's doing that.
A real quick story. I got off of work at like 2:00
a.m.
A.m. Yeah, so I
or pum.
Man, I'm having a hard time comprehending like what I'm hearing. So I get home really late, and I see a bunch of cars that I recognize outside of my house, and I'm like, ooh, like because usually Saturday night they'll party, but because of my job, it's very hard for me to get weekends off without like making everyone at the store struggle.
Yeah. Also, that's your big money days too, right?
Yeah, I make real good money on the weekends, so like obviously I don't have a problem going into work, but it sucks because the whole summer I basically missed out on a lot of fun things. Anyway, I'm coming home, I see a lot of cars that I recognize, and then I see like the living room light on, and they usually kind of knock out around like 1 or 2. So I'm assuming it's just a couple people. I walk in, and about I want to say like half of them were asleep, but the other half were like ready to fucking party. So I was like,
but the problem is that you got to turn off that fireplace in your living room, dog. That shit makes you too cozy.
Yeah. So they were like blasting music. They like tossed me a couple cans of like White Claw, and I was like, all right, it's time to get fucked up. So they bought this thing of it's like a little mini cornhole. It's like the beanbag game.
But people love that shit.
Yeah, I love it, dude. It's a pretty.
How many white people were at this function?
Nobody. No white people.
No one?
White Claws and cornhole are 2 white people things.
Yeah, it is.
So
who says white people don't have culture?
So let me explain why these 2 things were here at the house. So the cornhole thing is because Thanksgiving's coming up. So we have a lot of family members that are going to come over, and we try to have everyone kind of interact with each other because these are families that don't really see each other outside of like holidays.
Yeah.
And usually, like, especially growing up, at least in my family, every time you go to parties, like big parties, everyone's just kind of sitting at a table, like, kind of in, like, little subgroups, and, we want to try to just have everyone have a good time. So that was one of the things that they bought to kind of get everyone up and doing stuff, mini cornhole.
Nothing brings people together like throwing pouches of cornstarch at holes.
Hell yeah. So, honestly, dude, like, that was a great investment because I had so much fun yesterday playing that. And because, like, I play it, too, whenever I go out, like, to bars. Like, they'll have, I think down at Shooters, they have cornhole. And it's a
Isn't Shooters that racist place?
Yeah.
Yes.
The nice thing is, like, I'm a light skinned Mexican, so like they don't really.
Yeah, we can get away with a lot, dude.
Yeah,
I can't.
I know you can't.
They don't know where I'm from.
This is my white privilege card.
No matter what place they hate, I look like I could be from there.
So that's why we had cornhole. The reason why we have White Claw is because you've seen the guys that I hang out with.
Yeah,
they're pretty big. As far as like big bodied guys.
And they don't do carbs.
They, for the most part, Sam, like I give him big props because he started off a year and a half ago at 220. Right now he's 178.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
And I weigh more than him.
So like he lost a lot of weight. Like this dude he looks great. And I told him one day because he usually like he wears like his clothes that he's always had. So like you don't really notice until he bought new new clothes that actually kind of fit him well.
Yeah.
And it's just like I stopped what I was doing and I was like, yo, dude, you look great. And like so
This year I've noticed. I'm sorry. This year I've noticed that I weigh more than a lot of people.
You built like a brick house, boy.
Why am I so fucking dense?
But you look good though. Like
But why am I
fills
dense?
out. I don't know. I mean, like, but honestly, I wish I had your body type. I wish I had a lot of people's body types. 'Cause, like, here's the thing: before I got sick, because I'm still sick. Before I got sick, I started eating really, really good. A bunch of like chicken, fish, like rice, broccoli. I went up from 135 to about 142.
Oh yeah.
And then this week that I've been sick, I lost it all.
Really?
Like that's how frustrating like my metabolism is, because like it's not that I couldn't keep food down, but like I would eat like an eighth of something, and I'd get full, and I just couldn't eat anymore.
Yeah.
So like,
Isn't if you do like protein shakes, if you take them and you don't work out, you gain weight that way?
I've heard that too. And I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about like certain combinations that you put into those protein shakes, like as an additive, and it helps you kind of like bulk up a little bit.
Do the Rocky thing and just eat raw eggs. Get salmonella.
Hell no, boy.
That'll make you lose weight.
Man. So yeah, so the reason why we have White Claw, well, because Sam lost all that weight, all of his siblings are now like kind of, they all got inspired and they're all kind of like working out, and they're getting like, you know, they're getting ripped, man.
Oh yeah.
The whole family looks great, and that's why like they do a lot of White Claw, they do a lot of like Russian mules, I think it's called.
Russian mules are good.
Yeah, so that's the reason why.
So like the no carb alcohol.
Pretty much,
basically.
yeah. So they're,
That makes sense.
yeah. So that's kind of why there's always like
Yeah,
that shit.
because Eric, who's another member of the Spit Bucket, he stopped drinking beer, like, or just alcohol in general. He stopped doing alcohol like 4 months ago and lost the little beer belly he had. So
Yeah,
it makes
he
a
was
big
getting
difference.
getting a
He's
big
gotten
belly.
Big
swole.
difference. Yeah,
That boy's
his arms are huge, man.
Damn, Eric, what
God
you doing?
damn.
Yeah,
And it's
Eric
like,
looking good as fuck.
How did your arms like double up in size, but you have like a beer belly? Like when we went to visit him in Macomb, but now he looks great. Yeah, he stopped. He's been sober. I give him props for that, but it is sad because I do miss drinking with him. Everyone that I used to drink with in high school, they're like kind of, man, they're getting their shit together, and it sucks because I'm still on my
Hey man,
bullshit.
I'm not. I'm trying to get fricked up.
Oh my god, Jim! Didn't you try White Claw before too?
Yeah, White Claw's nasty. I'm sorry, dog. I can't agree with you there.
Jam loves sugar.
Here's
That's Jam's
Yes,
thing.
they do.
Here's the thing: I will drink anything except Jaeger. So like it didn't taste good.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
Jaeger.
Man.
Also, frick Fireball.
Fireball's not that bad.
I will say that White Claw is just the LaCroix of alcohol.
Rum chata with a little bit of ice in it.
That's probably a lot better. But anyway, Alan got drunk.
That's why I
lost
can't
his
read.
glasses.
Yeah, so I woke up this morning and I sent a message to the group chat because I was getting so... Because here's the thing, I wake up, I'm still drunk, everything's spinning, and I cannot find my glasses. And my eyes are so bad that because I don't have my glasses, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So it's so hard for me to find them. And then I end up going through all my old stuff and I found an old pair.
Those have to be a different prescription, no?
Yeah, so I see good, but... You know, there's small details that I can't make
But you can
out.
see gooder.
Goody. Yeah. So, yeah, that's why I can't read. First of all, because like I'm still a little messed up. And
On the group chat, I asked Alan. I'm like, Alan, when was the last time you saw your glasses? He was like, on my face.
because I don't even remember going to bed.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like
that's
the last thing I remember is I looked at my phone. I sent a message that I was like super embarrassed about to somebody, but I was like, whatever, you know, it happens. And then I
You
just
drunk
remember
text people?
Yeah, I drunk texted a few people. And I looked at my phone and it said like 4:39. I was like, oh. It's getting kind of late, and then I woke up this morning and I'm like, "What the hell just happened?" So that's around
You
the
didn't
time.
like go to the couch. They're not outside somehow.
I don't know, maybe. I'd be really surprised, honestly, if I found them outside.
Dude, so yesterday, Eric called me at like 6 something at night because he was going to a concert, but he had no one to go with because you ended up having to go to work, right?
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah. So Alan had to go to work. So then Eric calls me. He's like, let's go to a concert. I'm like, all right, I'm not doing anything, I guess. So then I go with him. We go to Chicago with a different Eric. So it was like the three of us. We're at the concert. And then the other Eric says, guys, I didn't want to say anything, but I think I just left my phone in the car. He's like, it's fine. I'll just get it afterwards. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I think I left it in the car. We're like, okay, we'll look for it when we get back. So we got to the concert pretty late. We only caught like 4 songs, but they were kind of long. So we were still there for like maybe half an hour. And we caught the headliner. We walked back because we're in a parking garage like half a mile away. We end up walking back. It's maybe an hour later. We get to the car, and then Eric's like, why is there trash on my car? We see, and it's not trash. It's actually his phone on top of the car.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
It sat there for a whole hour.
Wow.
That's crazy because
yeah.
the last concert that, well, not the last one that Eric went to, but the last one that I went to was with Eric. The neighborhood was real sketchy, dude.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to go see, I'm trying to think of where this was at. It's not important. We went to go see Dive.
Oh, okay.
So there was a parking lot right next to the venue, and it was the first thing I see as I'm pulling into this parking lot is a big pile of glass. I'm like, someone's car got broken into recently. Like, I don't know about this. So I ended up driving around until I found something that was well lit, like around some houses that were like had people outside. I'm like, all right, this looks good. So anyway, Eric is like, I just parked out like next to the street. I'm like, dude, like, you sure? Like, he's like, nah, it's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. We walk out. And he tells me later on, like that night, like I think over a text or the next time I see him in person, that I think 2 cars down, someone had broken in.
Really?
To their car. And the thing is, like, that person whose car got broken into was at the show, so they were all walking to their cars together.
Wow.
And Eric was like, man, that dude was like pissed. Like,
I would be too.
man, yeah. So
That fucking sucks. I know one person who parked in Chicago and they accidentally left their laptop in the back seat, and that shit got broken into real quick.
yeah.
We went to a concert a few years ago. We went to the Bottom Lounge, and if you guys know the area around the Bottom Lounge,
It's not good.
it gets sketch real quick. So we found a parking spot that was in between. If you guys look up Music Garage, it's very, very close to the Bottom Lounge, but we parked like at the halfway mark between those two buildings. So it was maybe like a 5-minute walk, but in like sketchy ass area. The concert's over at like 10. We're like, let's not leave too late.
Yeah.
So we leave around 9. And we have to walk through that area. As soon as you leave the Bottom Lounge, there's no lights anywhere. Like, it's just dark everywhere. And it's all like warehouses.
There'll be like one random street post, and then it's like just like shitty orange lighting.
Yeah.
And then down the block, there's another one, shittier orange lighting. So you're kind of just fending for yourself. Didn't that same concert, we were like approaching the car, and then there was just like one guy walking like through the street, the empty street, just limping.
And we start running. Dude, we run.
Wasn't Tiger Straw at Bottom Lounge?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Was it?
Because
Yes.
I remember asking, like, hey, how are you guys going to get home? I'm like, we're just going to walk. And I look around the area, and I'm like, you guys want me to take you home? Like,
Well, we said that hoping that you'd say,
Hoping we'd get a pity ride out of you.
because we walked there when it was still like nice out.
Yeah, and there were still like people out, and it was nice to actually walk through.
So thank you for the ride. But, yeah, so initially we walk out, we get to the first sketchy street, and there's like 2 people that look like they're about to like, go down,
Custom ruckus.
Custom ruckus, make some babies. So we're like, all right, just don't look that way, and we'll just speed walk through there. And then we see the car with the shitty light, and that's when we see the guy limping. And then Jem starts running. I'm like, I guess I gotta run too. And the thing with that
did it
car,
give you a warning?
no,
Sorry.
because she started like, you could see her eyes just like open wide at night. I'm like, she's freaked out. And
I
she
was low key.
The thing with that car, though, was that when you press the unlock button, sometimes it doesn't unlock the passenger side.
Oh, man.
So, like, I have to run in front of her, go inside, unlock it with my hand, and then her get it. It's a really bad zombie vehicle.
That's one of my
Dude.
like irrational fears, I guess, is like me having to run to my car like for like a panic moment, and like it doesn't open because like you have to click the button a couple times, and it's like that's my worst fear, dude. It is.
Oh, you know what's terrifying? I remember I got out of a pretty late shift at Target back then, and if you know where the Target that I used to be at, it's on 41, so right off the highway.
Yeah.
I've heard of people that walk from there, but they walk from the other direction of the store. I remember it was like kind of cold, so it was a little frosty on the windows, and I see on my passenger side just like 2 cupped hands.
What?
Like 2 cupped handprints. I'm like,
Oh, what?
who the fuck
Like
was here?
in the frost of it?
Yeah, like it was just cold enough to where I could like wipe it really fast.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like an actual snow, like ice to scrape, but it was cold enough where you could see like there was warmth there before, and you can make out 2 hands that looked in. I'm like, who was this? Where did they come from? What did they want? I mean, luckily the interior was like just black, so I don't think they could make out anything. But I was I had to like look around, and I was the only one on that side of the parking lot. So I like looked around. I even looked under the car, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna go in. I hope there's no one in the back seat.
Oh my god! And the thing with you is you never lock your door for
That
some
car
reason.
was actually very easy to lock, so I could just like walk and lock it. But all of the other cars, I've had to like lock it from the inside and then turn the key and actually like lock and unlock it like a barbarian. But that was the first car I had that was actually like the button lock.
One of my only like reoccurring nightmares as a child was that my parents got eaten by werewolves, and this was when I was like 8. So it'd be like parents would get eaten by werewolves, and then I have to drive me and my sisters out, and the nightmare is that I don't know how to drive.
Dude, that was me all of high school. It was just constant nightmares of, oh, my parents left me at the mall. I just have to...
In high school?
Literally. Like, my mom and my sister left me at the mall. They hand me keys. They have keys to another car. They're like, all right, just go home whenever you want. I'm like, but I can't drive. And that was all my dreams all the time.
Speaking of bad dreams, I am now officially 0-3 in dream fights. God damn it. my left arm is completely useless, man.
Oh, it's one of those?
Yeah, so like I'm getting some pretty good hits.
I'm 0-3.
And it's like I'm 0-3, yeah, exactly. So like I hit said person like pretty good. I go in for like a left hit, and just like it's like I hit him with a pillow. It's just like and
you might as well have just kissed him.
Patted him on the back, yeah, and it's so weird because usually it's both hands that like can't hit, or like everything's super slow motion, or for some reason like my vision just pinpoints to one spot and I can't see or hear anything, so it's like very frustrating, you know.
But this one's only your left.
It was only my left hand.
Are you left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed.
But so isn't that your weak hand?
Yeah, so like, you know, I'm not gonna fight with one hand. You know, I'm gonna be throwing it. You know,
You never just like ran at someone and throw your arm like dead weight your arm and hit.
No. Again, I've never gotten into a fist fight before. I've gotten into it's hard for me to explain, but I wouldn't call it a fight. It was more of just kind of me stopping someone from getting into a fight with me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Did you do that boxing thing where you just hold them down, kiss their neck?
Kind of. A little rougher than that, but yeah. So that's something that I wanted to get off my chest. God
Do you
damn it.
think in an alternative universe, Mike Tyson didn't bite the ear off of the guy? He ended up just kissing his neck tenderly.
Oh, I like that universe.
Yeah, so I guess let's get into this news story.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Did you guys see Elon Musk reveal his Cybertruck at all? Any type of news? Okay, so
I thought it didn't like load all the way when I first saw it.
okay, so here's the thing. So anyone living under a rock, Elon Musk is basically the closest thing to Jesus Christ. People don't understand that this guy is literally my hero. Like when he dies, unfortunately, he's one of the people that will go. He already is. He will go down in history as one of the greatest people to ever.
There will
live.
be a statue of him somewhere, a bronze statue.
I will make it and put it in my house if I have to. Goddamn it. So
I'm all for Elon Musk, but there was that 1 minute where he called that guy who like went to go save those kids in a cave. He called him a pedophile, and I'm like, oh, Elon, that's not a good move.
Here's
dog.
the thing. He can do or say stuff like that, and I will defend him until the end of time.
You're an Elon Musk fanboy.
I am a fanboy. I was following him ever since. So here, some of the things that he...
I loved him from PayPal.
Yeah, so he's involved with PayPal. He does a lot of like small apps. He co-founded a lot of companies. He's taking humans to Mars. He said NASA was basically like, I don't know what they're doing over there.
They don't have money.
They don't have money. They're just like taking photos with like satellites. But he just said fuck all that. I'm just gonna do it my damn self.
Yeah.
He sent a car to space.
And it was a Tesla. There's only been 4 different entities that have been to space: U.S., China, Russia, Elon Musk. And that's the truth.
And like doing all this without risking people's lives. Like he's doing all this like autonomous thing with like with Tesla, so like the self-driving cars. And he's doing the same thing with these drones or these rockets that he's sending out into space.
Right.
They're all controlled. No, it's like they're all controlled by like people sitting behind like a computer. And he
started a flamethrower company.
He started, and here's the thing: he was able to sell this legally by saying it's not a flamethrower.
Yeah,
did you know that? Like
he sold a flamethrower by calling it something else other than a flamethrower. But all it is a flamethrower.
And like he has like Tesla. He's doing electric semis. He's doing electric trucks now.
Mm-hmm.
He what else was he? Man,
didn't he burrow a tunnel under? He's trying to build a tunnel under Los Angeles.
The Hyperloop. So
Yeah.
In Chicago.
Yeah. So it's the Hyperloop. If I remember correctly, it's supposed to be an underground tunnel, like a train basically propelled by like very powerful magnets that's supposed to connect St. Louis and Chicago, and you're able to travel between cities. I believe his estimated time was about 35 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's something crazy like that. And they're supposed to be doing it from Los Angeles to San Francisco, too.
And there's demo videos of him like testing it on YouTube, and this thing is unbelievable, like how fast it is. And he's doing solar paneled like roofing shingles, whatever. He's sending like generators to like Puerto Rico, and when they're like.
When our own president's just like throwing toilet paper at him randomly. That's not help.
So it's like he gets a lot of shit because like
he's also a memester.
Exactly. Yeah, he started doing that recently. He just basically accepted it, and he got a lot of shit for like smoking weed on Joe Rogan's podcast. And when he revealed his solar panels, like I watched all of his live streams, and he was revealing like solar panels, and the only thing that the internet could talk about was that he gained weight because at the time he recently got a divorce from his wife because he's a workaholic. Like he
didn't she, because of the divorce, become like the second richest woman in the world?
You're thinking of Jeff Bezos.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. That's fucking crazy too.
So,
damn, fucking goals, am I right?
That's insane.
That's a fucking power move,
right?
Like,
she fucking pissed and shitted on him.
She became richer than Oprah Winfrey by just divorcing Jeff Bezos.
So like.
Fuck Jeff Bezos though.
Honestly,
like,
fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Even though I might get a job at Amazon pretty soon. I can't say that too.
Yeah, just don't put it on your resume.
The world looks at him under a microscope because basically just like waiting for him to fail, and they're quick to throw him under the bus for anything. They did it with his weight. They did it with him smoking weed. They did it with like the whole. I mean, probably shouldn't have said that because like I know about that whole story.
Isn't he now not allowed to actually tweet?
He's allowed to tweet, but someone I think like filters through it before you can press send.
Someone like gets to be okay.
I think it's only when it has anything to do with business stuff because people were saying he gave out, like, I'm doing air quotes, but he gave out some company information before it was made public.
Yeah.
And it affected the stocks of Tesla.
Oh, that's right.
So if it has anything to do with business, it has to go through them first. But he can just tweet like for himself.
One of the biggest things that I'm really excited about that he said he's working on is he's paving the way to make cat girls real. He said this is verified.
Yeah, you know what? I remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember.
What does he mean, cat girls?
Cat girls.
Exactly what you think. Just girls with like cat ears. Like he's making this real. So like he truly is your god, huh? He is, man. He can do no wrong in my eyes. And his vision is what I respect so much, though, because he alone, this is what I feel billionaires should be focused on, is propelling the human race into like the next stage in our existence.
Not like what Jeff Bezos does and just buys a mansion in like Brooklyn.
Right.
Exactly. Like everyone's so focused on like profit and like war and just everything. Just they're all focused on security, and they're building all these like weapons and bombs. And it's like you realize like if you just put like just a fraction of your effort into bettering like human existence,
invest in people.
Like we can be living like a Jetsons style like life, and it's really unfortunate. But he alone is kind of like. And he's not. The nice thing is, he's not really trying to prove it to anybody. He's just kind of doing all this on his own. One of the more recent things that he did was unveil his Cybertruck. So
didn't they kind of flop with the presentation though?
Here's the thing. Yeah, that's what the article's about. So,
but you know what? He owned it because he's like, oh, well, looks like we got to make it better before we put it out, which is better than ignoring the fact that it happened.
So let's see. This article is by Peter Valdez. Tesla truck reveals Cybertruck, but breaks its unbreakable windows during the unveiling.
Love that.
So essentially, I don't remember the name of the guy, but he had brought someone up. That's a pretty long article.
I'm going to guess it's like a baseball player because he had him throw like a steel ball.
It was a softball, wasn't it?
So
steel ball.
A steel ball. So they were showing like just how indestructible this truck is. So they were taking like a sledgehammer and just like hitting the side of the car, and it's not making a scratch.
But the one thing that sucks about that, though, sorry to keep cutting you off, but it's the reason that it looks like just unfinished metal is because if they put paint, it kind of fricks up their whole recipe for the indestructible metal.
Exactly.
So it's gonna it's gonna be looking like just unfinished metal.
I mean, it looks cool though.
It looks funny, dude. It looks goofy.
So and too with the breaking the window, he uploaded a video of them before they actually went onto the stage of him throwing it. And it didn't break.
So, okay, real quick. Despite everything I said, God damn it, this truck looks terrible. Like, I've defended him for so much, and like I never take anything back. But this truck looks terrible.
He's testing you.
And
He said he's the closest thing to Jesus. So this is Jesus'
he's
test for
testing
you.
me, yeah.
On the H3 podcast, they talked about the episode of The Simpsons where Homer finds out he has a twin brother that's a car manufacturer.
Yeah.
And that Cybertruck looks like the car that they let Homer design.
I kind of looked that up. That's funny.
Everyone's saying that he looks like it was like Poliwag or something like the Pokemon. And,
Yes, that like geometric Pokemon. Yeah.
It also looks like the first the first Halo Warthog.
Yeah,
It looks
I've
like
been
a
seeing a lot of
cicada
that.
to me.
Yeah.
A cicada.
Yeah.
The thing though, if you're driving that truck, that's a power move.
It is, and honestly, it's so
like-
affordable because like there's a like Ford, like their big truck is the Ford Raptor, and the sticker price on that is about $68,000, like with all the bells and whistles.
Frick
and
that.
This truck, if I remember right, I want to say it's like within the 40s.
Really?
But
Wasn't it only like $100 to reserve one?
Yeah.
So right now, by the unveiling, they already have 149,000 pre-orders for this truck. I'm a big car guy, but I don't really follow like the business part of like car manufacturers, so I don't know if that's like a good number or not. But I mean, I'm glad that it's gaining some traction.
He's trying to make the future affordable.
Exactly.
But is this the new Hummer?
Maybe.
Because Hummers look goofy as fuck on the road. You guys ever been in a Hummer limo?
Dude, that used to be like the power move back then. Dude.
Everyone wanted theirs for their quinceañera.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so that's basically what happened. They stretched the whole like window breaking into an unbelievably long article. I'm not even going to try and read this right now.
No, that's fine. The window broken. That's what you need to know.
Yeah, so
They said they're going to try to improve it. But that's funny. The thing, though, with cars is the reason that they fall apart is to disperse the energy, not to get too physicsy, but like they're supposed to crumble because that's where all the energy goes.
Yeah,
and away from you. So if this truck is like indestructible and won't budge, wouldn't that frick everyone else inside? That's why people used to die with like 20-mile-an-hour car accidents, is because the cars didn't give.
yeah, like the cars that are being like mass produced now, the frames exactly, they're designed to absorb any type of impact.
Yeah.
And that's why like the smallest type, like even with Ivan's car, like just the smallest tap will just destroy the car.
it.
You're safe, but it's at the same time it's like
It's a kind of pain in the ass.
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure they're smart enough to have thought it through, so maybe it's something that they just didn't talk about. But I'd be interested to find out in that kind of stuff. Or maybe like the inside is
Maybe it's like some sort of new metal technology.
new metal,
Yeah.
like Slipknot, or
Like, did you know that Crocs, the material on Crocs is like a whole different type of plastic? It's called Crosslight. So they just call it Crocs, and it's a breathable plastic that's just supposed to not make your feet stink.
well, then why are my feet always sweaty when I'm in my Crocs?
Because those are fur lined.
Okay, well then what's the point of having it and being a Croc?
You just fucking hate it. I got gibbets for my Crocs. Shout out to Carl for giving me Crocs. I'm gonna paint flames on them. Catch me at work, taking care of your kids with flames and gibbets on my Crocs.
There was 2 special edition Crocs that I wanted like so bad. They sold out. Like
Was it the Post Malone ones?
No, it was I don't know. Actually, I don't know how those look. I'm gonna have to look that up. There was 2 of them. One of them had metal pearls on like the holes, kind of like gibbets, but like they're just metal pearls. They look like boba, but it looks so, I don't know why, but it just looks so fucking cool. And then there was another one that had like a mini fanny pack on the back of it.
That's sick, dude.
And
But this is by Crocs?
by Crocs. So like they had the whole like New Balance like retro like color scheme. So they were like green, but then like the fanny pack was like a really nice like purple. Like,
That's sick.
What?
when you imagine like Hot Tub Time Machine when they go back in time and like they're skiing all the it was like that kind of color scheme. It was so cool.
The Post Malone ones, I think, were yellow with barbed wire.
Did they smell like
painted
beer?
on. Probably.
They smell like Bud Light.
And
Bud
then
Light.
he had like exclusive gibbets that came out for that collection, and he just released a new line of gibbets. And I looked at it because I was actually like saw it with enough time to actually get to the website, and it's still like try to add it to my cart, but it just looked like nuts and bolts. And I'm like, I'm not a mechanic. I don't need that shit. So I'm like, damn, because the other ones were cute, but
Yeah, so now you're going to get some Pokemon ones?
yeah, dude. I have an Amazon wish list full of gibbets. If anyone's interested, hit me up.
She will send you pictures of her feet for any 3 items that you... Does that count as
I
pimping
don't know.
you
I
out?
still got some slutty pictures on my phone. If you guys want those, just buy me some gibbets.
No one buy her gibbets. Send us pictures of your balls to spitbucketpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, you're a hater, dude. Found some Adventure Time gibbets.
Before we close out,
I will say this real quick. This is like the conspiracy theorist in me. I think that the whole window cracking thing on the Cybertruck was on purpose. I think someone was trying to just sabotage him because something
think
like
so?
this, it always affects his stock when shit like this happens. I don't know. I just wanted to get that
you
out
think
there.
someone replaced
I think
it?
someone did the old switcheroo, but just brought out a whole completely different truck.
And now it's time for Jam's Facebook screenshot of the week.
Alright, here we go, fellas. Let's be real. You ugly. Your baby daddy ugly. And your son ugly. And, motherfuckers are literally jokes. Like, damn, this can't even be for real. Laughing, crying emoji. It's like special ed motherfucker trying to call you slow. Wanna hee ha ha some shit. And you the ugliest bitch I ever seen in my almost 23 years of life. I can't stress how dramatic I'm not being. This is for real. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Shit, ugly ass Samuel L. Jackson. Big head, little bottom of the face. Ass wide bitch, wide mouth, ass can fit a watermelon in that bitch.
Alright, whoever can decipher this.
Who the fuck?
Who hurt this woman?
Who the fuck really laughing? And then this is in all caps. Bitch, I am, cause we better than you in all aspects. And I mean that in the most ignorant way.
That is too much for me to even start to dissect.
So which part do you guys want to break down?
Is this someone she knows, or do you think she was just at the mall and she's like, that boy ugly? Let me make a whole Facebook
I
post.
guarantee you it's someone she knows, because she's stuff like that where it's like hinting towards someone. And there's people that are like, that'll comment being like, you ain't right for that. You ain't have to do him like that. So it's people who know who she's talking about.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I don't.
I
so.
love people who use Facebook as a diary.
Yeah, dude.
Here's one of the reasons why I'll never get off Twitter.
So is this a new segment?
Facebook screenshot of the week doesn't have to just pertain to Facebook.
Okay.
Anytime we see some dumb shit anywhere, let's
We're
just
calling
include
it
it
out.
there.
Yeah. Someone on Twitter had said, y'all ever yeet a gas station dick pill into your Four Loko and drink it with your Wendy's 4 for 4 McGangbang Flintstone vitamin vibe check no cap cum. Oh, that's your girl? Name all the girls she left me for motherfuckers take 1L and start fighting demons. Oh yeah, can I get a vibe check? I feel like it
Didn't I retweet that?
I think so. I don't know why, but I just thought about that and I just had to see that again.
That shit is like just like a word soup.
He read that last night when he was drunk, threw his glasses against the wall.
Yeah.
he's like relatable through his glasses.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys had fun with us, and hopefully you guys have a good Thanksgiving. Make sure you guys keep giving us good rating on iTunes, because that always helps us out. 5 stars only.
Gobble gobble.
But for now, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _TheSharkBoy.
You can find me on Instagram at AlanCF1.
Instagram and Twitter at really_cool.
We'll see you guys next week, I guess.
Bye bye, babies.
All right, bye.
My hangover's starting to kick in.
He's getting dizzy.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Damn, Alan, you actually spit for real.
Did I?